Hi guys. I know there's a few girls that just opening my water, wanted in on this, so I'm just going to wait a few minutes to see if they can find me. But in the meantime, I'm settled in and I'm in my vehicle because I was going to do this outside. And it's like 14 degrees Celsius and it's really windy. And so I didn't bring my microphone, so I knew the sound quality wouldn't be the best. So here I am in my vehicle, ready to answer any questions you might have. Summer, is that you here? Oh, Tina's here. Yay, Tina. Good, Tina. I'm glad you're here. And, I thought, Tina, that I would try to answer as many questions as I can. Good morning, Pat. How is Pat today? If my eyes wander, it's because I'm getting distracted by the wildlife outside and the trees and the birds and the wind blowing the trees. And like I said, I would take you outside, but because I didn't bring my microphone, it's so windy that I think my voice would have been blocked. So Tina and Pat, how are you ladies? What's happening in your life? Do you have a question that I can try to answer for you? And I know a couple of you put questions in the Facebook post already this morning, and I'll get to those as soon as I see that they're online. So in the meantime, I'm here for you ladies. And what's going on? I know I haven't done a Facebook Live on my personal page here in a long time, but I have done them, quite a few of them, in my personal groups that I mentor and coach to. So if you're missing out on some of my Facebook Lives and some of my coaching and mentoring, I'll put the link to my personal coaching pages down below when I get home from the lake. And if it resonates with you, then just go ahead and ask to join. So let me know, because I'm sort of out in the back end of the park. I think the reception's okay. Tina or Pat, can you let me know? There's no Wi-Fi, so it's on my cellular, and I just want to know if it's sketchy or if it's pretty darn good. Because if it's really sketchy, I may have to postpone this and do something for later. So, while I'm waiting for you guys, let me tell you something that is so cool. Hey, Kirsten. So it's so cool about the questions that people are asking me about what the bejeebers is happening to my life, what's happening to my relationships, what's happening to my financial part of my life. Hey, Jason, what's happening to my mind? Why is my life seemingly falling apart? And those are just sort of the roundabout gamut of questions I get asked all the time. And I know some of you put, hey, Jason. Jason, do you have any question that you would like direction for? Jason is this awesome, awesome, awesome man. Hi, David. And David, you're an awesome guy too. The things you post, I thank you. I thank you for helping enlighten us, for helping, giving us information of support and guidance. And that's what I'm here to do in my social media as well, is offer people some information and guidance and support for their empowerment, for their enlightenment, so that they can empower their lives and change, not only change and transform, but transcend their lives into something that they always believed could be true, but were told that it couldn't be. Do you hear what I said? You've always believed you could have anything you wanted in life, especially as a child, right? You had the world by its tail. You fantasized and imagined what your world would look like and could be because there was no limitations. As you put on that apron around your neck and jumped off the chair, you knew you could fly. And then what happened? You got told who you're not. And you got told who you were expected to be. So in that is the discouragement of the majority of the planet. They've lost themselves. So part of what I do is help empower you back to your truth. So girls, you didn't let me know if the reception was fine or not, or whether I have to continue this later at home. And I know, Jason, you're probably at work and you can't actually do much. You're probably just checking in. So that's what I love to help people do. Number one is remember who they are at core level. You're more than just this earth suit. And who are you at core level? I help you remember that. And the second thing is I help you recognize and remember what you're doing here on this planet. You're not a 9-to-5er and a second mortgager and a bill payer. You're more than that. So what's your gifts and talents and purpose for being here on this planet? And it's not for sorrow and grief, guys. That's been a lie. So I help you remember why you're here. And then the third thing I do is connect you to your higher power, your higher self, whatever you want to call it. And as I say, if you're not listening to your higher self, your higher power, God, Tom, Dick, Harry, Buddha, whatever you want to call it, doesn't matter. If you're not listening to that higher self, who are you listening to? Hey, Susie, you're watching too. Cool. So who are you listening to? Because your brain is only a hard drive, as a computer with a hard drive in it. It's not the creator. It's not the power. You give it power by putting what you want in it or what subconsciously has been downloaded into you. Your higher consciousness is something you need to tap into. And if you're not tapped into it, you're going to have problems. You're going to be striving. You're going to have relationship issues. You're going to have family issues. You're going to have money issues. You're going to have issues with yourself and your life. And you're not going to be able to manifest on purpose. Oh, I got to turn this off. Hang on a minute. Maybe I can do this. There. You're not going to be able to manifest what you want on purpose because your default program will start running. And we can talk about that later. So one of the questions, I think it was Adrena Dini asked was, what can we do to realize that there's a gift in everything? Ooh, and that's a hard one. That's a hard one for people who haven't done the deep transformational inner work. Because most people say there's no effing gift. It's just a life of struggle. Pay bills and then you die and get sick, right? When you start to do the deep interpersonal work and have revelation after revelation, you're going to see that in every situation, every person that you attract into your life, every event, there's a reason why it came to you. And in that reason is your growth and your development. And through that is your forgiveness, your healing, your transforming, and your transcending all at once. And therein lies the gift. Because you are attracting everything into your life, whether you know it, believe it, or not. Because this is an attraction-based universe. Always has been, always will be. It was set up that way. So until you can come to terms with that, until you can actualize it, until you can fully see that, then you begin to believe before you see. Then you begin to believe before you see. But we've been trained that we need to see it before we believe it. So prove it to me before I believe it. Show me how this works before I believe it. This universe works the other way around because of the universal laws. You must believe it before you see it. So seeing the gift in everything was one of the questions. And as I said, it's a hard one. Unless you're doing the work, unless you've had a revelation that every single thing, opportunity, person, place, event, situation that comes into your life is there because you attracted it to learn something from or to enjoy, right? We keep forgetting about enjoying. Everyone's on the path of everything's wrong, everything's negative, I have to heal, I have to fix. That's because that's the way our life has crescendoed to. We're in turmoil. There isn't many of us that can say, I enjoy every minute of my life. even when I go through hard times, because I understand that I drew them to me to learn something from, so I can enjoy going through them even though I might kind of be shitty, knowing that my lesson at the end sets me free. Make sense, guys? So there's that one question answered. And girls, I think you left. I don't know if my reception's great out here, but I'm going to hang on for a little bit longer because I do have a client that I'm going to connect with out here as I sit out here. I may actually go in the woods to do that. I have my chair with me. Find a sunny spot in the woods to connect with my client. So I may do that as well. So Susie, David, Jason, Swami, hello Swami, and Pat and Tina. So Tina, I know you're probably working and you just popped on to say hi. Jason has a question or a statement. Hard times make you grow and expand. Makes sense. Yeah, Jason, hard times have an opportunity to allow you to grow and expand. Hard times don't often do that for people. They get very bitter and resentful. And I've got some family members that I can attest to that the more hard times that get showing up in front of them that they manifest, they're becoming more bitter, more angry, and more self-sabotaging. Because when people aren't ready to deal with their stuff, when they're not ready to deal with their stuff, it gets worse. Things get worse. They can't get better. It's just not the way it works. So hard times means, Jason, you're out of alignment with yourself. That you've attracted to yourself that which you need to either learn from or absolutely leave from. Either or, learn or leave. Well, you can do a combination of both because as you're leaving, you're learning, right? So hard times don't necessarily mean we grow. Interesting, right? But we have the opportunity to. And that's about the deep inner work. This deep inner work is not for wussies, and it's not something you do once a week, and it's not something you do for a few minutes a day. It's an ongoing practice, minute by minute. And in one of my groups, I held a 12-hour challenge. And this was so cool. This 12-hour challenge was connecting you once an hour to the space where you could actually start to see what you have been believing in from the previous hour. So talk about perfect manifestation exercise. So I did this with my group for 12 hours. And it's amazing how many people did not do it. But the one person that did it continually for 12 hours wrote a huge testimony about how it ultimately has changed her life and the things that are coming to her, the revelations that are coming to her, the physical manifestations that are coming to her, the deep inner work that has been done are like incredible. And when I talked to the other members about not why, what they found difficult, they just said they didn't put it into their day. So why didn't they put it into their day? Every issue we have is about self-esteem. Every issue. Jason says, yes, but without contrast, how do we know our direction per se? Well, we do have contrast all the time, right? Dark and light. So the contrast is always there. You have a new food you want to taste and you decide if you're going to taste it or not, and you like it or you don't like it. So we're not talking about learning the same lessons over and over and over and over, why we keep attracting the same people, the same situations, the same events. We're not talking about that. Contrast is always going to be there on this planet because that's the way it's set up. Jason says, seems like I'm the only one able to post comments on this. Yeah, I don't know why, Jay. Because is Susie trying to? Because I asked Tina, who's always posting comments to me, and Pat as well. Susie has been typing and doesn't show on feed. Isn't that interesting? Sorry, Susie, and sorry to everybody else who's asking questions and I don't see them. So Jason, thank you for letting me know that. So I'm wondering if it'll show up after I'm done the live. And if they show up, guys, I will answer them. And if they don't, put them in the comment section because I know it's important. I know that when I'm urged to do a live, that it's not me talking from here. It's me sort of being an open conduit from whatever, the channel the universe wants to, in my higher self, wants to be able to help people with, right? So, because I don't plan these, and nor do I plan the topics, right? Jason says, yes, she can't get through. Isn't that interesting? Sorry, Susie. Well, Jason, if she has a question that you want to type in, I can answer. I'm going to be here for a few more minutes. So let me tell you, I used to do this when I used to do Periscope. If anybody knows what Periscope is, live broadcasting. And when I used to do Blab, which was also live broadcasting, I used to do flavored tincture waters. And in this water here, I have made a tincture of slowly simmering about 3 ginger roots, like about that much. 3 ginger roots, star anise, aniseed, cedar, lemon balm, clove, I think chamomile, and I forget what else. So I simmer that for a long time. I just let the water leach out everything, all the goodness, and then I put a couple tablespoons in my water. Jason says, yes, she can't get through. Yeah, I know. So if you can ask one of her questions. So this ginger water, it's mostly ginger. I mean, this is like getting a shot of pure ginger extract in my body. And I've been drinking this the past couple of days, and it's just amazing how different you feel. Because we can't forget that food is healing. Well, let me rephrase that. The proper nutrients are healing. Things that are labeled food are not always healing. Processed food, non-organics, GMO'd, Monsanto stuff is not healing. So I rephrase that. The right nutrients that you receive are extremely healing. And because I've had some experience in putting together some of these things over the years, and intuiting what the body needs, always intuiting what the body needs. Jason says, Susie asks, how do you not allow yourself to get sucked into hard times, but allow it to teach you? Well, it's always about who you are at core level. And you never get sucked in. You always agree yes or no. I mean, nobody can force you to do anything, per se, unless you're in a prison camp and whatever, We're talking about here who you are right now. You don't get sucked into anything unless you have an esteem that's so low that you feel you need to people please, number one. Or unless you're conditioned to believe that that's what you have to do, But everything is a teaching thing. Every single thing we're experiencing. This ginger water was just a teaching aid for you, and yet it nourished me and it taught me how to look after my body. So in everything, there is an opportunity to learn and expand from. But hard times is because we have been lied to. We have not been allowed to, here's my number one tenet again, remember who you are at core level. That's what I teach. You haven't been allowed to remember who you are at core level to take your power back. And this is why I love to do what I do, because when people empower themselves, they change, they transform, they transcend. And this is, I'm telling you though, it's an ongoing journey. It never ever ends. I'm telling you, you don't go and seek help for a few months and then it's like, oh hell, I'm healed. No. And I've been doing this work for years, guys. Many different types of inner healing, in transcendence work for eons. 30 years. And I'm still moving through it. And we will, because there's so much, okay, here's the word, anger. There is so much anger that's moving around in us, that is hidden within us. Anger that has been suppressed since we were a little person. Remember when I said we had the world by the tail as we put on that apron around our neck and jumped off the chair and thought we could fly, and built a fort with blankets and thought we were in a spaceship flying high to the moon, and we actually believed it, and we never wanted to eat or sleep because we were having so much fun in our imagination, that everything was beautiful, that it was just so perfect. And then you get told, no, you're wrong, you're bad, that's not what you're supposed to be doing. How dare you? The shame that came upon us, the pressure that came upon us to let go of who we thought we were and conform to who the world, and let's just talk about what that world is. Our caregivers, our parents are caregivers, the school systems, the political system, the government, the religious systems, all the systems that said no. You do it the way we tell you to because we know better. You know dipshit. We know better. We are older than you. We are more educated than you. We are. So what does the little self do? What does that do over 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years? Produces anger like you wouldn't believe. Even those, hi Kathy. Oh, there's going to be noise behind me. Even though, oh, Susie, you're there now. Okay. Even those that have been doing the deep inner work for years have anger issues right now. I wonder if I can do it in my windows. Hang on. And anger is so huge, I'm not kidding you, that's rising up. And that's why I did a video last week, I think, on anger. Anger is rising up. Every single one of my clients and every single person in my family, it's amazing because the energy came in a few months ago for us to deal with this anger. You can tell I'm getting excited. Jason says, I can blame my mom for my awesomeness then. Is it blame or is it adoration, Jason? So Susie, you're back in now. Isn't that amazing? And Mark's here. Hi, Mark, if I didn't say hi to you before. So that I've covered an awful lot here, guys. So does anybody have any questions? Because this anger thing, let me tell you, if we don't resolve it, it gets worse. And we see it. We see it. Anger, like justified anger too, like when you look up at the sky and you see a chemtrail poisoning us, do you just go, oh, la-di-da? No, you go, those fucking idiots. How dare they spray chemicals over me and my children? Do you not? Or are you still asleep and you ignore it? When you go to the grocery store and it's labeled non-organic because it's GMO'd, Monsanto stuff, do you not stand there and go, how dare you put this in the grocery store for little children and my parents or my family to eat? How dare you? That's justifiable anger, right? Hi, Ronald. So those are just a couple of examples. Those are just a couple examples of anger. But I'm talking about anger at your parents for what they thought they were doing, raising you as the right way, and what they were really doing was squashing you because they didn't know any better. Anger at, especially with the dysfunctional family units out there. Oh my gosh, I'm talking to a man now who is finally able to have a look at his anger, and it stems from the day he was born. And one of my clients, her father has hated her because she wasn't a boy from the day she was born. And now her husband is indifferent to her. Do you see how the law of attraction follows suit in there? Interesting, huh? Oh, Susie says something. I have been here all along, LOL. I guess I'm having connection issues or something. Yeah, Susie, or it could just be me, too. It could just be me. All right, guys. Well, we're back to any questions. I'm going to open my window again. Hang on. Any questions? I still have a few minutes. So, I must tell you, though, that my practice is getting busier. because people are ready to deal with their issues on a deeper level than just a surface level, instead of a level of help me to figure out stuff, or help me to fix my husband, or help me to fix my family, or help me to fix my workplace. It's not about that. It's not about fixing anything or anybody else, guys. It's never about fixing relationship. It's never about fixing relationship with coworkers, with parents, with spouses, with children. It is, but it's only after you fix relationship with yourself first. Oh, thanks, Susie. It's always about you first, because again, this is an attraction-based universe, and how you show up is what you've put out there and what your subconscious thoughts are telling you. Every issue you've had or will have or do have is about self-esteem, your self-worth. And the minute you were told, no, you're bad, stop that, how dare you, who do you think you are, you stupid little kid, you were squashed. And then it continued. And then you went to school and you were told what to learn and why you needed it. Because in order to be smart, you needed to learn this and pass. And if that didn't condition us, I mean, I was out of school by grade 8 because I was exceptional in the fact that I knew how to daydream and imagine and bring things into manifestation. But the system didn't allow for that. Still doesn't, by the way. You know, my youngest son, we took him out of school before he was legal age, or I took him out. There's no we in there. I didn't have anybody raising my 5 kids. It was me. It was all me. So I made the call to take him out of school because I could tell that he was not gaining anything from it but frustration, because he's an exceptional one as well, you know, labeled. And all of these labels, especially the labels of ADHD and ADD and all of these other labels, they're really like special children sent here to the planet to awaken us and help us. But they haven't had the support in it. They've been labeled by institutions that want to medicate them. And really, they're like an indigo child. They're very special, but they haven't, if they've been labeled and they've gone through the years of labeling, it's really hard for them to move to that other side. I know I have one of those children. It's hard. It's hard. So who's left in here? Who's left, and what can I answer or guide or support you with, guys? Or maybe the answers or the questions or the reception isn't coming through like till 5 minutes later. Excuse me. Okay. Oops. Sorry. Trying to hold my phone and I've got it folded in half there. Well, I think I might be all talked out by myself, unless there's a question. And the thing about when I do Facebook Lives, guys, is that I get an inspirational message, and it's like Facebook Live. And very rarely do I know what the topic is. Very rarely. Or I may just get a word about it. But same with when I coach and mentor my clients. I do a lot of channeling. I just go, okay, whatever, speak for me, because my brain knows nothing, but my heart and my higher self know everything. When I open up to that, when I don't rely on what's stored in my brain, when I rely on a connection to a higher power, that's what happens when I get in here and when I'm with my clients as well. Jason says, I have no questions at this moment in time. Yeah, well, Jay, sometimes that's just the way, right? So everybody, I'm going to get ready for my client. I'm going to stay out in the woods and talk to my client. And as I said, every one of my clients is dealing with anger issues. So if you feel anger coming up of unjustification in your life of any way, of the chemtrails in the sky that are poisoning us, you know, of the water systems having fluoride and poisoning us, of, you know, the toothpaste like Crest and all those have fluoride in it, which is dumbing us down and calcifying our pineal gland. and the foods that we're eating, full of Monsanto and chemicals, and I don't get me started. That's just the very beginning. And then the TV systems and the video games and the stuff that is desensitizing us, taking us away from our higher purpose and power. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to go. It was a pleasure to be here with you guys. And as I said, if those that couldn't get through to ask questions because of whatever was happening with reception, go ahead and put the questions in the comments and I will definitely answer them. But in the meantime, if you need extra support, if you need a hand up, if you need some information about the next level you're to go to or what you're supposed to do, reach out to me. I do offer complimentary discovery calls for those that are new in this. Hey, Brooke, I missed you. I've been on for like half an hour. I do offer complimentary calls. So I'm glad I can answer your questions this morning. And I'll be back again at some point when I'm led to do that. But in the meantime, please know that you are always, always in the right place at the right time according to your belief systems. You are always in the right place at the right time according to your belief system. Thank you, Jason. All right, guys. Mwah! Love you all. Thank you for participating. Bye for now, everybody. Bye.